Hi, it's Ed Conarchy. Welcome back to Conarchy's Money Corner. My YouTube channel focused on helping you understand money better so you make better money decisions. I received a lot of feedback from my previous Conarchy's Money Corner video on saving 4% versus making 8%. Hey, check that video out if you haven't already, and let me know your thoughts on that too. Well, that video leads to a very important understanding that I want to cover on this video. The essence of why we are all investing, or if you're not investing, why you should be investing. In fact, why we are all forced to invest. That investing for us isn't really an option, but rather a requirement. Anyone want to guess the number one reason why we're all forced to invest? It's inflation. Inflation is defined as the increase in the prices of goods and services in an economy. And for us here in the U.S., the U.S. economy's annual inflation rate is 3%. That is the average annualized inflation in the U.S. since 1926. Now this year, U.S. annual inflation is very high. It hit 8.2% as a peak, but this year is an outlier, not the norm. Using the long-term annual average since 1926, what it costs us to live in 1 year, on average, will cost us 3% more to live the next year. And therein lies the problem and the dilemma. But here's the problem. Say that your money isn't sitting in a savings account and growing at 2% each year, but inflation, the cost of everything we're paying for, is going up 3% each year. It's a mathematical fact that you're eventually going to run out of money down the road. The higher the rate of inflation and the lower the rate of your money is growing, the sooner you're going to run out of money. So knowing this, then, how do we overcome it? How do we make sure that we don't run out of money before we run out of life? We have to find a proven way to have our money grow at a greater pace than that inflation. And are you ready? Here's the answer. History has shown us and proven that investing in a diversified stock and bond portfolio is the best weapon against inflation. That over time, investments have grown greater than the rate of inflation. Now, I'm an investment advisor and required to say that past performance is no indication of future results, but it has worked this way for over the last 100 years. The problem we all face is that if our money is not growing more than inflation, things will get financially harder for us. At the point where the longer we live, the greater the chances are that we'll run out of money before we die. And if our money is growing in line or just above inflation, inflation will always be there in the shadows, nipping on our heels, stressing us out and leaving us with very little room for error. So going back to my last video of saving 4% by prepaying your mortgage, that savings of 4% is just above that 3% 100-year average of annualized U.S. inflation. Doing that, paying off that mortgage and saving 4%, cuts it too close and doesn't give you enough room for error. And in high inflation years like this one, our money growth is falling well behind current inflation. We're losing money. Yes, money in our savings account or in our home equity is safe from stock market risk, but it's not safe from inflation risk. This is why people fail in their financial planning. We worry so much, and the media has a lot to do with this. We worry so much about stock and bond market risk, but we fail to understand and take into account the risk of inflation. That our money and our wealth is being eaten away by inflation, and if we don't do something to fight that inflation, we will grow poorer year by year. We say things like, I don't want to invest my money into the stock market, it's risky, but we fail to see that leaving our money in our low interest savings accounts or prepaying our low interest rate mortgages is guaranteeing us to lose money over time to inflation. I heard someone say one time that not only do we need to work for money, but our money also needs to be employed working and making money for us. This is why we have to invest and put our money to work. As I said in the last video, the best place to put your money to work and to invest it is in your retirement plan at work. maxing out your retirement plan contributions to the maximum allowed by the IRS each year. Don't just go up to your employer's match and stop there. Go all the way up to the IRS maximum allowed, which in 2023 is $22,500. Our financial goal should be to invest as much as we can, as early as we can, to harness the power of time and compounding and never interrupt its growth, using a diversified stock and bond portfolio to earn us a higher investment return than the inflation rate. Remember, the enemy of wealth creation is inflation. Thanks for watching this week's Conarchy's Money Corner. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. And do not forget to subscribe and like Conarchy's Money Corner so you get all my future videos and you can see all my past videos. I will talk to you again next time on Conarchy's Money Corner. Thanks, gang. Talk to you soon.